The Christmas tree twinkled in the corner of our family's lavish dining room, but the atmosphere was anything but festive. My sister Victoria, fresh from closing another brilliant real estate deal, had chosen this moment to demonstrate her business acumen, at my expense as usual. I mean, really, Michael, what were you thinking? She adjusted her Cartier bracelet, addressing me but playing to her audience. Our parents, her husband Brad, a hedge fund manager, and our younger brother Peter. 2,000 acres of desert wasteland in Nevada? It's literally worthless. I continued calmly carving my turkey, already knowing what was coming. The geological survey results had arrived in my private email just hours ago, but they didn't need to know that yet. Victoria's right, dear, Mom chimed in, ever supportive of her most successful child. We were all quite concerned when you spent your savings on that land last year. No water rights, no development potential. She trailed off, sharing a worried look with Dad. Dad set down his wine glass, preparing for one of his lectures. Son, in real estate, location is everything. Victoria understands this. Look at her portfolio in the city. Premium locations, guaranteed returns. But desert land? In the middle of nowhere. It's not nowhere, I replied quietly. It's exactly where it needs to be. Brad, ever the supportive brother-in-law, snorted. Where it needs to be for what? Growing sand. His investment banker's laugh echoed around the table. Even the mining companies surveyed that area years ago and found nothing. They didn't know about the new technology I'd helped develop, the one that could detect mineral deposits deeper than traditional surveys. The one that had just revealed what lay beneath my worthless desert. Victoria dabbed her lips with her napkin, then leaned forward with what she clearly thought was a generous expression. Look, Michael, I've been thinking. As your sister, I want to help you out of this mistake. How charitable of you, I murmured, taking a sip of water. I'll take the land off your hands, she announced grandly. I'll give you $10,000 for it. That's more than fair, considering it's basically worthless. Peter nearly choked on his wine. Vicky, he paid $200,000 for it. And that was his mistake, she replied sharply. But I'm willing to help him salvage something from this disaster. Think of it as my Christmas gift to you, little brother. Mom beamed at Victoria's generosity. That's so kind of you, sweetheart. Michael, you should accept. At least you'd get something back. I checked my phone discreetly under the table. Another email from the geological survey team. They'd confirmed the initial findings. The mineral deposits were even larger than first estimated. What would you even do with it? I asked Victoria, genuinely curious about her motivation. She waved her hand dismissively. Oh, probably use it as a tax write-off. Maybe sell it to one of those solar farm companies for a small profit. The point is, I'm trying to help you here. The point is, Brad interjected, you need to learn from your betters, Michael. Victoria's instincts for property are unmatched. Look at her last development project, sold for triple the investment. Dad nodded approvingly. He's right. Victoria has the business sense in this family. Maybe this will teach you to consult her before making investment decisions. My laptop sat in its bag beside my chair. Inside it were the documents that would turn this entire conversation on its head. But timing was everything. So, Victoria pressed, pulling out her checkbook with flourish, shall we make this official? $10,000 for the entire property. I'll even cover the transfer fees. She smiled magnanimously. Consider it a Christmas miracle. I glanced around the table, taking in each face. Mom's hopeful expression, Dad's stern approval of Victoria's business prowess, Peter's embarrassment on my behalf, Brad's smug grin, and Victoria's absolute certainty of her own brilliance. Before I accept, I said slowly, reaching for my laptop bag, maybe we should discuss recent developments in the area. Developments? Victoria scoffed. I monitor all significant real estate movements in the region. There's nothing happening within 100 miles of your sand pit. Not above ground, I replied, opening my laptop. But below. Oh, please, Brad interrupted. Don't tell me you've fallen for some prospector's wild mining claims. Those scams are as old as the desert itself. Victoria leaned back, crossing her arms. Let him talk, Brad. This should be entertaining. What wild scheme are you planning for this wasteland, Michael? I pulled up my email, allowing myself a small smile. Actually, I think you'll find this rather interesting. especially since you're so eager to buy the land. The satellite images were loading on my screen, along with the geological survey results that would transform this Christmas dinner into something none of them would ever forget. I turned my laptop screen toward the family, displaying the complex geological survey maps and data. These results came in this morning. Let me translate the technical jargon for everyone. More like translate your latest mistake, Brad muttered, but his smirk faltered as he noticed the official letterhead from Global Mining Solutions. What we're looking at, I continued calmly, is the world's largest deposit of rare earth minerals ever discovered in North America. The new quantum sensing technology detected deposits nearly a mile deeper than traditional surveys could reach. Victoria's checkbook slipped from her fingers. What are you talking about? Those worthless 2,000 acres? I clicked to the next slide. They're sitting on top of approximately $2.3 billion worth of rare earth elements. Essential components for everything from smartphones to electric vehicles. Dad's wine glass froze halfway to his lips. That's impossible. Actually, I pulled out my phone. I have the head of geological surveys on video call right now. Dr. Harrison, would you mind explaining what we found? The screen lit up with the image of a distinguished scientist in a field office. Mr. Peterson, the results are extraordinary. We've confirmed deposits of neodymium, dysprosium and terbium among others. The concentration levels are unprecedented. Every major tech company will be fighting for access to this site. Mom's grip on the turkey platter weakened. The crash of the family's prized porcelain hitting the table accompanied by turkey sliding onto the expensive tablecloth barely registered as everyone stared at my laptop screen. As of an hour ago, I continued, representatives from Tesla, Apple, and 3 major Chinese manufacturing companies have already submitted preliminary inquiries. The Pentagon called as well. Apparently, these minerals are crucial for national security. Victoria's face had gone from smug to ashen. But the previous surveys couldn't detect deposits this deep, Dr. Harrison interjected from the screen. Mr. Peterson's investment in our new technology made this discovery possible. Quite brilliant, actually. Brad's attempt at dismissiveness sounded hollow. This could be a mistake. Like your last 3 hedge fund predictions? I asked mildly. No mistake here. I have confirmation from 4 independent labs. I turned to Victoria. Still interested in that $10,000 purchase? She made a choking sound. Peter, who had been quietly watching, suddenly burst out laughing. Oh my God, Vicky, you just tried to swindle our brother out of $2 billion. $2.3 billion, I corrected. Though that's just the initial estimate. Could be more once full extraction studies are completed. Dad found his voice, though it cracked slightly. Son, why didn't you tell us? Tell you what? That I spent 2 years researching geological patterns? That I worked with quantum computing experts to develop new scanning technology? That I mortgaged everything I owned to buy land everyone thought was worthless? I shrugged. You were all too busy listening to Victoria's real estate wisdom. The mining rights. Victoria whispered, her real estate agent mind finally kicking in. Tell me you still have the mining rights. Full mineral rights, surface rights and water rights, I confirmed. Which reminds me. I checked my phone again. The governor of Nevada is calling. Apparently, this discovery could transform the entire state's economy. The family watched in stunned silence as I declined the call. Major news networks are running the story in an hour, I added. The property value is expected to increase even further once the public announcement is made. Brad's attempt to recover was almost painful to watch. Perhaps we could discuss investment opportunities. Several sovereign wealth funds already have, I replied. Along with every major mining company in the world. I have a meeting with Elon Musk next week. Interesting man, he doesn't judge property by its surface appearance. Mom's hands trembled as she tried to clean up the fallen turkey. Michael, sweetheart, we always believed in you. Did you? I pulled up the family's group chat from last month. Let's see. Michael's wasting his life on that desert fantasy. That was you, Mom. Dad called it the folly of youth. And Victoria. I smiled at my sister. You told everyone I was throwing away my future on worthless dirt. The silence was deafening. Speaking of futures, I stood up, gathering my laptop. I should take that call from the governor. We're discussing infrastructure development for what will soon be the largest rare earth mining operation in the Western Hemisphere. Victoria found her voice, though it was barely a whisper. The $10,000 offer. I was just trying to help? I suggested. Like Brad helping me invest in his hedge fund? Or Dad helping me understand real estate by showing me Victoria's condo developments? Some help. The family sat frozen as I walked toward the door, then turned back. Oh, and Victoria? About your latest luxury development project? The one on Wilson Street. I paused. I just bought that entire block. I need somewhere to build the company headquarters. The annual New Year's Eve party at our family's estate had a distinctly different atmosphere this year. The usual crowd of local real estate developers and investment bankers had been replaced by tech billionaires, mining executives, and government officials. Victoria stood in the corner, nursing her champagne, watching as I discussed quantum sensing technology with a group of Silicon Valley CEOs. Mr. Peterson, my assistant Jennifer approached discreetly. The Secretary of Energy is on the line. Should I tell him you'll call back after the party? No need, I replied. I'll take it in the study. As I crossed the room, I passed Brad attempting to pitch his hedge fund to one of my new business partners. The billionaire CEO was clearly uninterested, more focused on trying to catch my attention. Michael, dear, Mom intercepted me, her voice honey-sweet. The Worthingtons were asking about investing in your new venture. The same Worthingtons who declined my dinner invitation last year because I was unfocused? I checked my watch. Tell them the minimum investment round is $50 million. Though I believe that window closed last week. Dad appeared at Mom's elbow, looking uncomfortable in his new role of not being the most influential person in the room. Son, about the family business. You mean the real estate firm? I paused. The one that wouldn't hire me because Victoria had better instincts. We were hoping to discuss a potential partnership, he managed. Interesting. I gestured to Jennifer. What's the current market cap of Peterson Mining and Technology? As of market close today, $47.8 billion, sir, she replied promptly. Up 3% after the Pentagon contract announcement. Dad's face fell as the number sank in. His entire real estate empire wasn't worth a fraction of a percent of my new company. I'll have my team review any proposal you submit, I said diplomatically. Through the proper channels, of course. We have strict governance procedures now that we're publicly traded. Victoria finally gathered the courage to approach, her designer dress seeming somehow less impressive among the tech elite. Michael, about the Wilson Street project. Your luxury condos? I smiled. Construction stops next week. We're building a research campus instead. Should create about 5,000 high-paying jobs. But my clients, she began, will be fully refunded, I finished. Though several have already inquired about positions in our new tech division. Turns out people prefer working for a company revolutionizing global mineral discovery over buying overpriced condos. Peter, the only family member who'd shown genuine happiness for my success, joined us with a grin. Hey bro, just met your quantum computing team. They're showing me how the new sensing technology works. It's incredible. Unlike some, you actually asked about the science instead of dismissing it, I replied warmly. How's the internship going? Amazing. Though some people, he glanced at Victoria and Brad, suggested I was wasting my potential not following them into finance. The same people who thought desert land was worthless? I raised an eyebrow. Speaking of which, Jennifer, what's the latest bid from the Chinese consortium? $4.8 billion for mining rights to just 20% of the property, sir. The Pentagon has concerns about national security implications. Victoria's champagne glass trembled slightly. $10,000. She tried to buy it all for $10,000. If you'll excuse me, I said, I have a call with the Secretary of Energy. Peter, why don't you join me? The government's quite interested in your research on sustainable extraction methods. As we walked away, I heard Brad desperately asking Jennifer about investment opportunities, while Victoria appeared to be holding back tears. In the study after the call ended, Peter looked at me seriously. You're not just doing all this to prove them wrong, are you? I gazed out the window at the party guests arriving in their luxury cars, remembering how the family had mocked my methodical research and careful planning. No, I replied honestly. I'm doing this because it matters. Our technology will change how we discover and extract critical resources. We'll make mining more environmentally sustainable, create thousands of jobs, and help secure the supply chain for crucial materials. I paused. Proving them wrong is just a satisfying bonus. And the family? They'll adapt, I said. They have to. But maybe next time they'll think twice before dismissing someone's dreams as worthless. Through the study window, I could see Victoria and Brad leaving early, their usual New Year's Eve swagger notably absent. Mom was trying desperately to maintain her social position among guests who now saw her as merely Michael Peterson's mother, while Dad attempted to explain to his country club friends how he'd missed investing in his own son's multi-billion-dollar discovery. Ready to head back to the party? Peter asked. Actually, I smiled, I think I'll take a walk out in the desert. The stars are particularly bright tonight over my worthless land.